Gonna go on a quick north side trip. All right, so this is a one-way going down Fremont. So let me give y'all the story on Fremont real quick. Let me fix this. Hold on. I'm trying to fix this so it ain't so. All right, so look. Quick little story time. I wasn't supposed to do a story time. Quick little story time on Fremont. Now, I gave y'all a little bit of information. This happened some time ago, so I'm not sure. Fremont is a one-way street in North Minneapolis. Next time I'm over here, I might give y'all the area where it actually happened at. Because this is on 29th in Fremont. So I think this happened like in the 40s or something like that. So, basically, man, what happened, me and my homies, me and one of my guys, we was getting ready to go over north. I had my backpack and whatnot. Now this is 26 right here. I'm trying to think, do I want to go all the way back up? This is 26, but it happened in like the 40s, like 40 something. Get a little coffee. I need to freeze this so it tastes good. So I think I won't drink no more for a while. So what ended up happening, man, was I ended up going over north on Fremont with my homie, and this might have been around, I'm thinking this was probably around 2002. It probably was before I went to IPR. I don't know. It might have been before I went to IPR. So, reason being said is that it is 22nd of Fremont. So we're gonna approach Broadway pretty soon here, I believe. So yeah, this Broadway right here. I'm gonna see if I can jump on Broadway right here. Go over here by, what the fuck? I don't know what this was all about. They done made this shit. There go JJ Fish right here. I don't really mess with them like that. I'm gonna get another lane. There's a black-owned business right here. Next time I come through, I'm gonna stop and grab some. It's called Sammy's right here on the corner of Emerson. Emerson also a one-way Sammy's. They say they make some good sandwiches there. Yeah, we on Broadway right now. Historic spot. Broadway's always been around. Oh, that joint clean right there. Somebody got a clean time machine. So we take the number 5 to get where we need to get. He wanted to go see some chicks. I didn't really mess with the north side all like that. When they put this building up, they got a Wells Fargo here too. Yeah, this is new. So what will end up happening is I go over north. We go over on Fremont. I don't know what the hell they doing. I go over there. I'm getting distracted as hell, man, because there's so much damn stuff going on. There's so much damn going on. Now I'm gonna try to capture some from there. This station right here, you could barely see it. That's the Erder station. There was a RICO in Minneapolis that just occurred due to that. You know, there was some big thing that was going on between two rival sets, and basically everybody got indicted. So they up out of here. But there used to be a lot of shootouts at that gas station, the Winter gas station. They called it Erder Station number 1. So getting back to it anyway, we're on Fremont, got our backpacks. He wanted to visit some chicks. I didn't really want to go because I ain't really messed with the north side chicks like that. It just wasn't my thing. I don't know what's up with this dude. I really don't know what's up with him, because I'm about to move. Oh, they getting ready to turn. Yeah, I ain't know what the hell was going on. They holding up traffic. You gotta go, dude. I don't know what's up, but anyway. So I get over there. You know, I think I'm about to keep going down Broadway, y'all. What the fuck is he doing? These niggas is crazy. These folks is crazy, man. Yeah, let's get away from the north side. We need to get around some more civilized driving. So, all right, enough with the damn distractions. I know y'all like, man, nigga, hurry up. Okay, so we get over there. He wants to, you know, he's hollering at some little chick. She got some friends. You know, I'm trying to be on my merry way, really. I'm just, you know, I'm not trying to be all extra friendly, so I'm just chilling. Real quick, throwback off to the right is this, where I used to work at, Coloplast. Let's go over here. Let's bust a right since we over here. Mini story time. West River Road. This is one of my favorite spots in the city. You can see downtown right here. Let's do a quick little mini story time. Ostomy Corporation. This was my first contract right here. This building didn't exist before. It didn't even look like this. This is a new building. Now I'm gonna take y'all around so y'all can see in the back. This is how it used to look. I might even hop out, man. I might even hop out. But right here, this is the railroad. I guess I'm gonna turn around as soon as this car allows me to. If he hurries his ass up. All right, see this little shipyard right here? This is how all of it used to be. The shipping and receiving right here. There is, man, I'm gonna hop out. I'm gonna hop out. Cause y'all gotta see this. This is a part, this is a part of my history. I'm gonna fix it. So look, the shipping and receiving, this U-Haul's new. So the shipping and receiving used to be over here. Way back over that direction, that's where I used to bring a lot of the laptops and stuff like this. This parking lot, it did not look like this at all. But now this building's brand new. It used to be, the building was like kind of over there, but you didn't have this building there. All right, so we gonna jump back in. We gonna take Broadway all the way down. I just had to do a little minute, you know. I had to do it, y'all. Had to do it. Okay, so now we over there. He on his cell phone. Folks need to put their Bluetooth on. So this West River Road is so beautiful. West River Road is very beautiful. I'm just going to go because you can't hardly see. Everybody walking their dogs. You see the river and all that. If you ever come to Minneapolis, you want to definitely, you know, slide through West River Road. It goes all the way through the city. It's equivalent to what they got in Chicago. I forgot what they call it in Chicago, but they got this thing in Chicago where it goes all around the city. Riverfront. So now, these buildings are new too. These Paragon buildings, spank brand new. There used to be this place called Broadway Pizza over here. They ain't got it no more. So now we're gonna enter northeast Minneapolis, where it gets a little more civilized with the driving. Not too much better, but we at these chicks, finally, we at these chicks' house. He's in a room with her. And then they invite they invite some niggas. You know, I ain't with that at all. I'm not with that at all. So I'm kind of like, okay, what's going on? He finally comes out, and it's some dudes that these chicks had invited over. I think once they figured out that I wasn't really trying to talk to them little north side hood rats, they like, well, we'll just call some niggas over here. I don't go for that. I said, no, we gotta go. And see, that's another reason, y'all, what made me get my car. You know, I was adamant about driving, and I started getting to the point where, you know, and I got it years later, but that's what made me kind of want to get my car, because you done brought these dudes over here, and I feel like they encroaching. I mean, it wasn't my spot to say. You know, like it wasn't my house. But like I'm telling my homie, I said, man, I'm first of all, I'm not really trying to get over there. He was trying to get me to come over there on the whim. It might be some other females over there, but I don't really mess with the north side like that. Not far as no women. Now business, getting some money, fine. So this is where the darkness comes in. I might name this the darkness. This is where the darkness comes in, y'all. We're walking up the block. I used to go to this speedway from time to time. When you leave the club, there'd be this place called Gabby's. Sometimes I didn't want to, you know, we would go to this speedway. Gabby's, it was like a down to earth club, so to speak. But I will say, you had some decent little. It would be a gang. You wouldn't see a bunch of light skinned chicks up in there. You would see some little hood dark skinned chicks. Bad little broads from Gary and Chicago and stuff. They'd be up in Gabby's stuff. The little snooty little light skinned chicks, they'd be downtown somewhere a lot of times. But if you just wanted some real down to earth stuff, you go to Gabby's. You go to Gabby's to pick something up. And it was cool because it was a hood club. Gabby's was a hood ass club. So if you didn't mind a hood, if you didn't mind some, and at 2 a.m., man, shit, there might be a shootout in that joint. It's definitely gonna be some fights at Gabby's. They had to shut that joint down. But Gabby's was that was the club that if you didn't want the dudes didn't want to pay $15-20 to get up in there, and they didn't want to go downtown, and the dress code was a lot more relaxed. But it's some ignorant shit going on up in there, I'm telling you. But so we're walking up the block. Man. And one police car comes by screaming. Woo, woo, woo. Then another one comes by. Woo, 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 woo. Then another one comes by. And I'm like, we at the bus stop waiting for the 5. I'm like, damn, bro, what's going on? And I'm sitting there thinking in my mind, see, that's why I didn't want to come over here. Because it's not like that over south. Over south, it just ain't. You not. I didn't really have a lot of situations over south. All my situations that went left, man, was over north with the police, man. You know, now, when I started driving, I got pulled over once. I don't know why the hell I still got this on. Got my little blinkers on. So now we're going on Central. I'm gonna take y'all down Central as a story time one of these days. That's gonna be a Central Avenue story time, and I'm gonna start that off on Hennepin, which is off to the right towards downtown. Central Avenue, they're gonna Spy House Coffee Shop. Central Avenue is in its own right more of a old, I was gonna say Celtic beauty of its own. A lot of remodeled bars. I don't know if you want to call it hippie or not. It's not like Uptown, although Uptown is, man, Uptown's kind of hood now. Like, folks be getting taco melted on Uptown. It used to be till that Rico came through. But so now these police, they pull a Huey and pull up to the curb. I BS you not, man. They pull a Huey, damn it, and they pull up to the curb and say, and they hop out. Put your hands up. Put your effing hands up. Don't move a muscle. And you got this one cop, you could tell this nigga Captain America. I mean, this nigga looked like he done, if you just fold the flag wrong, he might put you in a hacksaw Jim Duggan chokehold. I mean, he was just extra patriotic, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was just, and so, which way do I want to go? I think I gotta get in the left lane. Let me go ahead and bust this. Is he gonna let me? I don't know if they're gonna let me. Come on, let me in. Let me in, vampire. All right, so look. So, put your hands up. Don't you move a muscle, or I'm gonna blow you away. I'm like, damn. So we put our hands up. All right, I want you two to move forward. Don't you move a muscle. If you move a muscle, we gonna put you down. And I'm like, oh, damn, what hell? So they said, all right, you've been in question of something about a robbery or whatever. You've been in question and suspicion of a robbery. And I'm like, man, we just came from so-and-so. I don't want to hear it. You shut your goddamn mouth. I'll ask the questions here. You keep your hands up. Because I guess at first we weren't, we weren't so quick to put our hands up. Because, in our mind, we like, what the hell? So we wasn't putting our hands up quick enough. So maybe that made him mad. Put your hands up. All right, move closer. Hey, not too fast, damn it. Not too fast. All right. Put your hands behind your back. And now we got they couldn't put the handcuffs on my homie. They my homie was bigger. So they had to take his backpack off. They put my handcuffs around my back with my handcuff. They put the handcuffs on me with the backpack on. So it's extra tight. I don't know why this dude did that. So then they sit me down somewhere. They bring my other boy. They put him in the car or something like that. So now he says, we need to check your backpack. You would have thought they would have secured the backpack first before putting my hands around my back over my backpack. So that's just something the race soldiers was doing. That's something the race soldiers was doing. That's what they was just doing that. Because typical protocol, you ain't supposed to have the suspect keep their belongings. You're supposed to render them useless of those belongings, right? All right. What's in that backpack? I got mixtapes. A mixtape? What the hell is a mixtape? I said it's a CD. He said, oh, okay. I don't see no tapes. So he's trying to fumble around and open up the backpack with my hands cuffed. You can't open it up. So then, this is what he does. So I said, you're going to have to take the cuffs off in order to open it. Come on, man. Just go ahead and go. Oh, he's a young kid. Okay, he looked like he about 13. He don't look no more than 13 years old. Driving. Okay, I'm going to give him a pass. He a young boy. Yeah, he look like, I know he ain't 15 years old. He looked like he about 12, 13. Whipping that Chevy. Go ahead. Young white dude. Go ahead. He got his life ahead of him. So look. So he finally take the cuffs off. Give me that backpack. So I handed the backpack. Do you have any drugs? Do you have any weapons in this backpack, sir? No, I do not. All right, put your hands behind your back. He puts his hands behind my back. They rummaging through my stuff. What are these? I said they're mixtapes. These aren't tapes. He's still talking about the damn burned CDs. I said they're mixtapes. He said this looks like a compact disc. This isn't a mixtape. What's all this here? I said it's a track list of mixtape. It's a mixtape. He said, oh, so you young guys, you call it a mixtape. This isn't a mixtape. That's not a mixtape. That's a compact disc. I'm like, okay, whatever. He said, all right. I don't see any drugs. I don't see any weapons. He says, I do see a cell phone, and my cell phone was in my pocket. So he takes my cell phone out, and I see $10. He said, all right, put him in the back of the car. We're booking him down to the Hennepin County Jail. The Hennepin County Jail? I'm like, what? I'm like, oh, hell. So this is what happened, y'all. He's questioning my homie the same thing. Now he got him in the car. They separated us. They put me in the car. They rummaging through his backpack. Don't find nothing. He says, all right. The victim is on their way. And we're going to see what they got to say about this robbery that you two were involved in. So dude says we were involved in a robbery. Now, here's the thing, y'all. They found exactly the amount of money that the person was robbed for. Some crackhead nigga pulled out a weapon on somebody, pulled out a weapon, likely a gun or whatnot. And what they did was they pulled out a weapon and robbed somebody for a flip phone. And around this time, I think I had maybe Sprint or something like that. But it was a flip phone, because that's what I had 9 times out of 10. And not only was it a flip phone, but it was $10 or $5 or $10. But it was, and I had that $10. That wasn't for, you can't put that on the bus. That might have been some money that I made, but I had exactly $10 in the zipper in my backpack. So it made it really, really look like I was doing the crime. Okay? So the victim drives up in the squad. They looking out the back. I'm trying to see who it is. They point to me, and I'm like, oh, they're gonna book us for felony possession of a pipe, aggravated robbery, and whatever other counts. You see what I'm saying? So 15 minutes later, the victim drives off in the cop car. They get rid of him, and he comes back. They open the door. All right, come out, put your hands behind your back, or turn around. They uncuff me. I said, what's going on? Oh, false something. I said, hold on, wait a minute. I said, that person that was gonna identify, I said, what happened? Oh, they said it wasn't you. I said, well, man, we sitting out here with y'all damn near an hour. We sitting out here damn near an hour, and the fives ain't really running all like that. You see what I'm saying? You pull weapons on us, and we wasn't the people that did it. Well, how do you think the victim feel? He went into straight white supremacist mode immediately. Well, how do you think the victims felt? We're not talking about the victims. The hell with the victim. The victim said we didn't do it. You said that we committed these crimes, and you pulled weapons on us. So that's aggravated assault, sir. Well, I'm an officer of the law. Okay, but you pulled a weapon out on me, and I wasn't the person. So that's aggravated assault. You should be punished for something like this. Well, just be glad that you weren't the victim. Just be glad that you weren't the assailant that assaulted the victim. I said I didn't assault the victim. Who is he saying he did it? Well, I'm not a measure to disclose that and all that and all this, that, and the third. I said, man, keep it real with me, man. I said, who? So the other officer said, oh yeah, man, it was just some crackhead on Broadway. I said, motherfucker. So the other officer chimed in. He said, this was a tall, skinny black man. I said, a crackhead? Yeah, he might have been a crack. I said, that's crackhead shit. Don't nobody steal no $5 and no $5 in a flip phone. Don't nobody steal no $5 on a flip phone with an armed robbery. That's crackhead stuff. You give me the description of a dope fiend. Well, we could just drop you off on Broadway if you miss your bus. I said, what? Drop me off on Broadway with the risk of some folks, and see that's why I was telling y'all these race soldiers is something else. Now somebody who's gonna listen to this and say, man, that ain't got nothing to do with no racism. They don't do white people like this that's waiting on the bus. That ain't got nothing to do with no racism. Y'all will just happen to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. See, if you would have pulled your pants up and if you would have voted, you need to vote and you need to pull your pants up. That's what you need to do. You probably got some niggas sitting around saying that. No. It has nothing to do with my vote and whether my pants was up, which my pants were very well up. We didn't sag our pants. We didn't do that. I didn't sag my pants. We weren't sagging our pants. If they would have dropped us on Broadway, that's how you know they were race soldiers. The first thing he did, they didn't take no accountability for what they did. No apology, which I didn't want it. I wanted some justice, some punishment. But then the nerve to say, how do you think the victims felt, on top of the fact, well, we could just drop you off on Broadway. You know what you were trying to do. Folks see us hopping out the cop car, gonna think we rats. So now you really trying to annihilate us. I said, nah, man, we just gonna wait till midnight for the 5. For the next 5. And Fremont, around that time, that's not no place you just want to just be sitting around. You see what I'm saying? For long periods of time. It's just not, you know, I just never got into, I mean, I would do it, but I didn't like sitting around on the north side for long periods of time. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? That was never my thing. Did I pass 61 already? So I'm just giving y'all an idea. Now, DP, why is this important to some of your story time? Remember what I was telling y'all before. You got a bunch of some of these old Negroes, and you got some even around my age too, that would tell you, yeah, I'm past 61, man. I was supposed to have gotten. I might jump back on. I'm gonna jump back on because I want to go get something to eat. I was gonna do it later, but I'm like, well, shit, man. All right, so look. I'll get off the next exit, man. I ain't messing with White Bear. See all them cars? No, I'm good. My pace is a little low. You can be somewhere, and remember when I did the last one of the last broadcasts talking about how, like, when I did the JPay analysis, when I was talking about technology, and this is story time, y'all. This is Adventures of DP. This is some of the things that we had to deal with on my way to becoming an IT tech and just being about the city as a young man. You can be minding your damn business. We weren't doing anything wrong. Was I supposed to be over north? Somebody could ask that question. Well, if you would have been married and if you would have had a job, you wouldn't have had to deal with that in the first place. Somebody could say that. But we weren't doing anything wrong. We were waiting on the bus. We paid. We weren't arguing with the bus driver. We ain't never argued with the bus driver. We paid every aspect of us moving and grooving. We paid for it. I paid for my software. I paid for, you know, everything was done pretty much on the fair and square. Other than the fact that you could say, well, we were hustling. Well, y'all didn't have a peddler's license. You could say that, but we weren't arrested for a peddler's license. We was arrested on the suspicion of what some crackhead nigga did. And they said it was one crackhead. So y'all chose 2 of us. That's the point. You were gonna book us in the county jail because it was 2 of us. They didn't have 2 assailants in question. They said that the victim said that there was only 1 robbery assailant. So you don't get a 2-for-1 deal. That's one case of racial white supremacy right there. That's the first case. Outside of the accountability, outside of talking about when you were going to bring us on Broadway, knowing what was going to happen to us. And they looked like they wanted to do something to us. The way they were handling us, the vibe, you know, they had this, and you could tell these were cops that they didn't live in the city. They probably came from Farmington, or they probably came from all these other little places where they don't have to deal with blacks. But your contact with blacks is from a criminal aspect every step of the way. So somebody could, like I say, they could turn around and say, well, yeah, you know, come on, go. Go ahead, man. So, y'all remember in Power when Power said, go! I was about to turn into Amari. So look, Well, that can't happen to you. That can't happen to you. The 94 crime bill didn't happen. That was us right there. All that victim could have said, because you got to think, we ain't had no money for no lawyer like that. We would have got booked. For all you Negroes running around talking about, well, man, ain't no innocent, ain't nobody innocent going to jail. That can't happen. My point is when you have a system like this in place, and when you have, like when I was telling y'all about like Louisiana and all of that, when I did, when dude was off G Street talking about, this happens a lot to people in these very, very corrupt places. It happens in the North too. But my point was, that happens 1,000 times in places like that. There's a lot. My point, but here's my overall point, what I'm trying to get y'all to understand, is that while somebody may say, well, you're innocent, yeah, but if you book me for a robbery charge, even if they were to let us go, even if I would have went to trial, I'm sitting in the county jail for 6 months plus. If somebody can't bail me out for something I didn't do, I still got an arrest record. So that's money out my own damn pocket. Even if I would have went to trial, even if I would have sit around in the Hennepin County jail for 3 to 6 months, we were first time offenders at that point, right? Yeah, but the law says your black ass got to stay in the Hennepin County jail because you ain't got nobody to bail you out. That happened to Khalif Browder and Rikers Island. For all you old Clyburn 94 crime bills, well, we needed the crime bills so we could decrease time. We needed that. Even when crime was decreasing, they signed that crime bill. That's remnants of the crime bill. Because I'm a black man that was accused of doing something that I had nothing to do with. This crime that happened on Broadway, we on Fremont, and it was one of us. So we could have sat potentially in the county jail for 3 to 6 months plus. What if the victim would have came to court and I said, I'm taking this to trial? Oh, well, yeah, he did it. He had the phone. He had the $10. So now I get sent to St. Cloud level 4. Robbery charge, possession of a firearm, you're going to get about maybe 2 to 5 years. So now I would have went to prison. Now, let's switch this up to Louisiana. If this would have happened in Louisiana, you don't just go to the county jail. They sending folks to Angola. Did y'all know that? If I would have been in the Baton Rouge parish or the New Orleans parish, and I would have been sitting outside with my backpack of CDs, and somebody said I robbed somebody for $10, aggravated a robbery in Louisiana, goes for about 15 to 20 years, possession of a firearm, that might be 2 to 5 years. So now we looking at 15 years for something I didn't do. While Negroes is running around here talking about ain't nobody innocent. This isn't the first time this happened to me. Do y'all understand that? We have been accosted by race soldiers by walking down the street. We have been thrown in the back of cars on the same pretense that someone got robbed. I just had a homie that happened to him at Augsburg College. Had some rookie cops talking about he was involved in a robbery. The only thing that kind of saved him was the security guard knew him from being in the neighborhood. He said, man, that man don't rob nobody. That man got a couple dollars. But what if he didn't have a couple dollars? What if he wasn't who he was? What if that security guard wasn't there? Keep in mind, y'all, we talking about technology, being black in tech. There was no GPS technology. There was no smartphones in 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008. They just started making, there wasn't no There wasn't no sporadic apps where I could have said, hey, I wasn't here at that time, officer. Hey, let's go to trial if you want to. That situation that happened to my homie at Augsburg College, those were some rookie cops. You know what he told them? Because he knew the law. They're like, oh, well, we're gonna detain you. We're gonna arrest you. You know what he told them? And my homie got a couple dollars. He said, go right ahead. I'm gonna get some money, y'all pull this off, because you're accusing me of doing something I didn't do. He said, if you arrest me, go ahead. And they started thinking like, well, maybe we shouldn't arrest him. He said, no, I want you to arrest me. Go arrest me for armed robbery and see what happens. And see, my homie, he got some money. This ain't no broke nigga. He got a couple dollars. So if they would have arrested him for armed robbery, his lawyer would have ate that shit alive. You would have been goddamn looking like the Loch Ness monster. County Road E. Yeah, I think I need to be right here. I wonder if I could kind of go over. Yeah. Yeah, they would have ate that up like a Loch Ness monster. And they would have lost their jobs. That's the difference when you're dealing with race soldiers and you black and you got a couple dollars. The tables are a little bit different. If you broke, you screwed. But if you black and you got a couple dollars, things just might go in your favor just a little bit better. Give me a gyro real quick. I'm trying to think of where I could. Yeah, things might go in your favor just a little bit. Let's see here. Can I go that way? No, that's a tattoo shop. Yeah, they might go in your favor, y'all. Just a bit. You see? So, yeah. He had a situation. We don't like parking on the edge. But I wonder if I could go out this way. Yeah, I'll park here. Let me tell y'all, man. That happened to my buddy a couple weeks ago. That happened to my homie a couple weeks ago. He was walking around on Augsburg. They said he robbed somebody. And the police didn't arrest him. They must have got scared a little bit. Because they know he knew law. And, you know, most people be like, man, I don't want to get arrested and Black Lives Matter and all this, that. You know, he wasn't doing all that. He was like, yeah, go ahead. He said, if you think you got evidence, please arrest me. Because all you going to do is give me some money. And them cops didn't arrest him. They probably like, nah, this ain't a good idea. But he was hoping that they would. Like, okay, if y'all want to get me paid, and his lawyer would have ate that up, that man probably would have got about $100,000, $200,000 easy. It's already not looking good on Minneapolis PD right now anyway. He could have got a quick $100,000 from the city if he wanted to. A night or two in jail. $100,000. But see, what I was trying to say is, there's places in the United States that's much, much more unlawful than Minnesota. As I told you guys before, on Live on Lake Street, you're not dealing with the Jim Crow North. This is Dred Scott at this point. The hell with Jim Crow. This is Dred Scott at this point. You walking up on folks just doing whatever you want. Evidence of Philando, evidence of George, evidence of what just happened with Augsburg. Well, we just gonna say you guilty, nigga. Okay, that's Dred Scott now. we beyond Jim Crow. That's Dred Scott now. I'm white and I say so. I'll just do whatever the hell I want. So that's what I'm trying to say with this story time, man. You do not have to be a criminal for them to say that you are guilty. When you're in certain places in the deep South and them places like in Louisiana, where I mean, you know, it's different down there. They got a whole plantation system. You can be arrested and taken to a actual prison before your trial. And if you do get found not guilty, you may not make it out that bitch. You might not. Suppose I would have been down south somewhere in Alabama or Mississippi or whatever like that. You going to places much, much more dangerous than our correctional facilities. And that's what my point is. You do not have to be a criminal, and you do not have to be somebody that committed a crime for them to say that you did something. You just have to be black and have to be you have to be broke. That's all. And even if you do got some money, they can still say you did something. So that's my story time, man. North Minneapolis on Fremont Avenue.